Black Butte Porter is the beer that we'll be reviewing today, my friends. Black Butte Porter, and please don't call it Black Butt or Booty, is an American-style porter that comes in at 5.20% ABV, so it's not too much higher than your average, just maybe by a percent or so. This is supposedly an incredibly good porter. I have never had this porter before, and I haven't had that many porters at all, so I'm very excited to try this one. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and crack this open, of course being careful with the lid to save it, to remind myself later in case I like it. Alrighty. Here we go. Pours an extremely dark brown. See if we can get a head on it. Oh wow, look at that. Pours an extremely dark brown fresh out of the bottle in the glass. Can see a little bit of light through it. It is one of the darkest shades of brown I've ever seen. Pours to an easy 3-finger head. Let's take a smell. Up front, I'm getting roasted chocolate malt. Right behind it is a vanilla-y caramel note. Maybe just a ever so slight buttery note to it. So definitely more like a dark chocolate, kind of cocoa-y dark chocolate smell, and malt up front, followed by caramel, and then just a slight tinge of butter at the end. That sounds delicious. With that being said, let's give it a taste. It's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. The head on it is incredibly creamy. Felt like there was a cloud up against my upper lip as I drank it. Definitely picking up on a fairly strong chocolate and coffee note in the aftertaste. Up front, right up front when it first enters your mouth and first touches the palate, it's more of a Bach kind of taste to it, but after a good second only or two, you're hit with chocolate and coffee. Definitely a lot of maltiness to it. This is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I'm drinking it now and my nose goes into the glass, it kind of reminds me of a kid because it almost smells like chocolate milk. I'm not even gonna lie. Very pleasant mouthfeel. Not as creamy as, say, a milk stout or a really thick stout, but definitely has creaminess to it. I've had creamier, but it's quite creamy to say the least. A little bit bitter, just a little bit. Virtually no hop present. I'm gonna call this a... I'm gonna call it a 4.3 out of 5. It's not the absolute best thing that I have drank, but it is really high up there. If I was going to give it a grading scale of 0 to 100, it would score like a 90, 93 maybe, so I'm thinking a 4.5 4.3, 4.4 would be a good rating for this beer. I think this would be a great transition from really dark lagers to the stout world. If a person was wanting to first get into it, I think this would be a great drink to start with. Cannot smell any alcohol, and I can't taste any alcohol, so it's very smooth as far as that goes. High drinkability. Just from richness of flavor's sake, I wouldn't call it extremely sessionable, but certainly if you wanted to, the alcohol content isn't so high that would be a bad idea. Does leave a little residual lacing in the glass, as you can see here. Extremely impressive head. It dissipates down to about a 2-finger head, and it remains very solid. I don't know if you can see that in the glass here or not, but if I just move this thing around, it's an incredibly solid head that just remains throughout. So there you go, guys. That is the Black Butte Porter. It's like I said, it's about a 4.4, 4.3, 4.4 out of 5. Highly suggest it. Hope you guys enjoyed the review.